being English, he was very polite, and so I asked him, what do you do? And being Dutch, I didn't realize that was his politeness. So I just told him.
He wanted to know.
I told him, but it turned out I was then back then investing in electric cars. He had an electric car, so we got talking, and I began to explain why I decided to cover the electric cars, not to cover the news, but to actually investigate if it was a good idea, electric cars. And then start at zero, where my readers are, and know nothing about electric cars, and then for a full year, every week, focus on one element, and by the end we could decide if it was a good idea. And he said, why don't you come do the same thing, but now the electric cars without banks? And so I went over to London.
Did they maybe ask you because they needed somebody from outside of London with no ties in the banking world?
I think so. So no ties to the banking world, and also no ties to Britain, because Britain is so divided between working class and middle class people. And so, as they say, in England, if you open your mouth, half the audience hates you, and the other half thinks, he's with us. And so there's no way, just the way you speak. In Holland, it's more like regions.
When I open my mouth, I immediately think like, oh, still do it, same thing.
Yeah, and so it's a decision on your part whether you would overcome that speech defect.
Well, now.
But with the working class, the same thing. So some working class people, they adopt a middle class accent.
They have to almost.
Yeah, they have to almost. And so the fact that I was foreign, and half of the bankers are foreign in London, and the other half wouldn't be caught in this terrible, are you middle class, am I middle class, did I go to a more superior school than you do, am I richer? And it's so tiresome. And so and I think it was just also this...
If you speak to people there, do they try to find out? Okay, you're Dutch, but
Oh, no, because if you're Dutch...
It doesn't care, you're not part of their family anymore.
Yeah, so Dutch friends, when I moved to London, said, keep your accent. Because if you keep your accent, they will not play all these awful games with you. And they just don't take you seriously. Which if you don't want to...
That's the reason why they tell you things they would otherwise not tell everybody, right?
That's quite possible. And it's,
And the result of that research has been, because how long have you been there now?
6 years.
And you researched the book for 4 years, I think, or something?
Yeah, a little less, but all in all it was a sort of 4-year project.
What did you find?
Well, essentially that this media and Hollywood generated image of bankers as evil psychopaths is, I think, a way for people to avoid the realization that the real problem is not bad people, because they're actually not that bad. But it's really bad structures, really bad incentives, really bad, we have some really bad laws governing the banks. And so we should change these laws. We need political parties to propose these changes. Now that's a long and hard process. If instead you just decide, well, they're all like Leonardo DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street, they're all coke snorting, whoring psychopaths who sell you shares in companies that don't exist, then you're free.
Bad people. They should put them in jail, but they don't, but they should.
And so again, it's this how the images of a professional group play a role in reality where that professional group again operates. And I think one of the reasons we haven't been able to make the banks safe, and this is in our lifetime, it's going to cost us very dearly, is that we have the wrong definition of the problem. We think it's bad people, and so the banks are very happy with this because then we leave the laws intact. So say, oh yeah, bad people, we're going to have cultural awareness. I can make so much money if I went along with all these cultural awareness trainings in Nairobi. They go to a vuilnisbelt, a garbage heap, and then they spend a day with a poor child, and they have a big cry in their hotel room, and find their inner child, and they fly back to London, and they're back in a deeply sick organization where only deeply sick people, or those pretend to be deeply sick, can survive. And so that was an important lesson. The other lesson is just that if finance breaks down, society breaks down. So this is not like the Middle East, oh, I wish there were peace in Israel and Palestine, but if there's not, I don't care because it doesn't mean anything for my life. This is really, if the financial sector truly collapses, that will be like the 30s, then
our society collapses as well.
Bankers were hoarding food, guns, were preparing their children for evacuation to the countryside. And I mean, most people didn't even hear about this. But this is why we threw all that money at it. This is why we didn't send them to jail, because we felt that will destabilize
the system even more.
The system even more. But now we're stuck.
Is it too big to fail? We have to sort of maintain something which is wrong, but maintain.
And this is why we had to bail out the banks, the Dutch, German, French banks who lent too much money to Greece, rather than just that Greece would just say, yeah, well, we don't have the money. Well, then the Dutch banks would have gone bust 3 years after leaving. Or rather than we had the Irish banks go bust, we forced the Irish government to take over all the debt. So also the euro, the reason the euro is could very well crash is the fact that we couldn't let the banks that lend so much money in Europe collapse.